Welcome back to Origami Snowman. I'm doing another 5 up, 5 down, and who knows, maybe I'll get my 4 holes in one. Yep, I hear you in there laughing.
I'm not laughing.
You should be, because I'm hilarious.
Okay, well, let me get my then.
Well, I'm already filming.
I'm
It.
not laughing.
I know, it's fine. You can listen. It's just super duper.
I came in to get my water and walk out, but you were making a...
I am making a thing. Hey, listen. Nope, it's fine. It's going to be awkward no matter what happens. How are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Tired. I'm gonna go upstairs and read my book.
Oh, fun. You should read one of my books. They're available on Amazon. Anyway. Oh, you're coming in here, all the way in here.
You know what? Everybody...
It's fine. You live here too. It's okay. Everything's all right.
Sure, I'll then go upstairs.
Everything's fine. Are you subscribed to the channel, by the way?
Probably not.
Probably. No, definitely not. Anyway.
Get on YouTube.
Anyway, I don't even think she knows I do this. Okay, so that was my wife. She's amazing and wonderful, and I love her to death. Okay, well, so let's catch up. Since last we spake, we talked to my wife about her getting some water and going to bed. So anyway, doing a 5 up, 5 down. My daughter, SilverBlood 914, gave me, a while ago, gave me 4 lists, and I'm finally getting to the third of the 4. Today... we're going to do White Stripes songs. She gave me 10 White Stripes songs. She's very cool. She has exceptional taste in music. Well, I think. She doesn't care much for punk rock, which, give her time. You know, it hits some people later in life. Anyway, so here, let me go ahead and read to you the list. Okay, in alphabetical order. Hang on. No, it could have been a hole in one. It's a hole in one. See, it's so hard for me to oh boy. Why does this hole, this image, this landscape here, why does this feel like a Disney villain's lair? Or at the very, like, Maleficent or Yzma, or it's very cool. I like it a lot. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and do the list in alphabetical order. White Stripes songs. Apple Blossom. Astro. Fell in Love with a Girl. Hotel Yorba. I Just Don't Know What to Do with Myself. I'm Slowly Turning Into You. Jolene. Seven Nation Army. The Nurse, and You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl. So here's the thing about SilverBlood. SilverBlood is 14. SilverBlood doesn't listen to, like, the radio. I don't know too many kids who do. See, like, when I was 14, you just listened to the radio, and whatever they played on the radio was what you listened to, is what you heard. That's how you knew what music was good. You know, until you met, like, a friend with an older brother who had access to better music and then introduced you to the better music, right? Or until there was a girl that you liked who was really into punk rock, so you started listening to punk rock and then realized, actually, you know what? I really like this music, even though things didn't work out with the girl. And then you carry on for the rest of your life loving punk rock. I've heard that happens to some people. So anyway, so SilverBlood chose these songs for reasons of her own, not because she knows this one is more popular or that one is blah blah blah. No, there's no rhyme or reason that I know of why she chose these 10 songs. So we're not going to read into any of that. We're just going to go right ahead. Now, I've been a fan of the White Stripes for a long time. For, good grief, 20 some years. Not since they were brand new, but certainly since, I don't know, since I was in my early to mid 20s, early 20s, or I don't know, since before any of my kids were born. So I know all of these songs. Well, I didn't know all of these songs. There was one that I didn't know, that I wasn't familiar with. And so we'll get to that. So let's go through these one at a time. And this, I did listen to them all and I did take notes, even though I felt confident enough to make my decision. Oh, are you kidding me? I felt confident enough in my knowledge to make decisions. And I'm glad I did listen to them. I'm not going to, crying out loud. Look at that. That was pitiful. And in the cup. There we go. All right, so Apple Blossom. This would be an absolute great song for just about any other band. But for the White Stripes, it's a little bit forgettable. It's a little primary school, a little pedestrian. I don't know. It's almost like so one of my favorite bands, the Huntingtons. Don't worry if you haven't heard of them. Most people haven't. They're warm, like their sound check was really like a really short, fast, just catchy like count off. It was really, really fun, and I remember one time requesting it at a show, and the guy goes, "Wait, our sound check?" I was like, "Yeah, it's really good." And that this kind of has a feel of a sound check. And for somebody like Jack White, who is just an absolute artist, when it comes to the guitar, you want a little bit more. It's just kind of I gave it a 2. Sorry. So great song for anyone else. Very mid for the White Stripes. Then Astro. Astro was off of their first album, and this was the first song off of that album that really caught my attention. I've always liked this song. It's simple, it's catchy, it's very fun, it's dirty, it's just, you just feel like Jack is just having a lot of fun playing around with his amplifier, and that was a hole-in-one for those of you not, listening and not watching. I just want to accommodate all of you there. I gave it a 3 because, again, it's so much less than what their music will one day become. It's still early on. They have a lot of growing to do. All right, moving on. Next song, Fell in Love with a Girl. Man, this song, yeah, it's one of those, it's like when you talk about the Beatles and somebody brings up All You Need Is Love, and you're like, yeah, of course you're going to bring that song up. Well, you know what? This is their All You Need Is Love. This is like, they decided, hey, listen, we want to do a punk rock song, but we don't want to ignore our Detroit blues legacy. And that's kind of what they did. It is a great song. It's so gritty, so good. And if you've ever seen the video, Michel Gondry did stop motion animation with Lego. It's really, really one of the all-time great music videos. And that was almost one of the all-time great holes, but nope, overshot it. And so Michel Gondry's done a lot of music videos for the White Stripes. Their music really lends itself to his visual style, his artistic style. Oh boy, here we go. We got a long way to go down. It's like John Wick down that flight of stairs at the end of the 4th one. Anyway, Fell in Love with a Girl. I gave that one a 4. Terrific song. Let's see. Hotel Yorba. This actually is the song that kind of got me interested in the White Stripes, believe it or not. I was sort of in a weird, kind of immature place musically. Like, I was very... when you're in your early 20s and you think everybody is just watching you all the time. When you leave the house, all eyes are on you, which is hilarious because I don't know what the word is. I'm not a good looking guy. I'm not I don't have any fashion sense at all. And so I don't know why anyone would be looking at me, but everyone has that thought that they're all being stared at. And so anytime I went anywhere or did anything, I had to kind of pretend like, oh, I'm being watched. What an astonishing hole-in-one that was. I'm glad you guys are all staring at me, watching my every move. So I had to listen to cool music, right? But then one day I heard this song, Hotel Yorba, and I was like, this is not a cool song. It's dorky. But why does it make me feel happy? And then I kind of was like, you know what? I don't care if everybody's looking at me. If they're going to look at me, they're going to see me being happy. And so, that was a big changing point in the way I viewed myself and the way I treated myself. And I thought, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to worry about other people staring at me and other people observing, because no one was looking. I just had it in my head that they were. So, Hotel Yorba, it's very Dylan-esque, very folksy, very lighthearted. Yeah, it's dorky, but it's fun. It's a great song. It's about being in love. It has that classic White Stripes, hold my hand and be my girl kind of feel, and it's just, I just love it. So I gave that one. I wrote 3, and then afterwards I went back. I said maybe a 4, because it really is a great song. It sticks in your head. It's chewing gum that doesn't lose its flavor. It's just terrific. All right, next song. I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself. Not a bad song, but it's also not what I'm looking for when I want to listen to the White Stripes. I gave it a 2. It's just not a. It was a hit for them, but not one of my favorites. I never managed to get very far into that song before I skip it. So, all right, now we're on to the one song that I had never actually heard by them. That was on this list. I'm Slowly Turning Into You. I thought it was a little too patchwork. There were too many things going on, and none of them really fit together well. I also felt like they were relying too much on the beat to hook the listener, and that just didn't work for me. I gave that one a 2 as well. I did not care for that song. Next song, Jolene. Jolene is such an amazing song. Dolly Parton, when she released that song, I don't know the history of it. I don't know when it came out. I don't know whatever. All I know is that when I hear it, Dolly Parton sing Jolene, I am kind of captivated. It's a gorgeous song. It's heartbreaking. It's just beautiful, and it's wonderful. Even when, it was a couple years ago, there's this thing that went around where they'd slowed it down just a little bit. They they dropped it at a different speed, and it was haunting, and it was beautiful, and it was so good. Jolene is an incredible song. But Jack White, he did not do it justice. His vocals were not great. He's no Dolly Parton. But I will say this. The guitar in that song, in the White Stripes rendition of Jolene, the guitar is perfect. It is so good. However, the guitar is just not enough to save it. So, because the guitar is perfect, but the vocals, if I want to listen to Jolene, I would much rather hear Dolly Parton sing it. I have to give it a 3, which I think is generous. So, sorry. We're going to move on to the next song. Seven Nation Army. If you have ever heard the White Stripes, you've heard this song. This is the iconic White Stripes song. This is the one. This is their big hit that everyone just everyone likes this song. Now I'm sure somebody's like, "Oh, I hate that song. It's so stupid." But you can't deny that once it's in your head, it's not going anywhere. This song is perfect. It is a perfect showcase of their talents. The really cryptic lyrics, the amazing, I don't know if it's a bass line, but it's a bass line, considering that they made their name having a guitar and drums and that's it, no bass. But incredible bass line. And it's just relentless, the pounding, oh my goodness, it's just a great song. And if you've ever played a guitar, you have tried to play this song. It's a great song. It's, as I was listening to this song for the 8 bajillionth time, I tried to find some relatable thought about it, and all I could come up with was this. I wrote, "It's a slow descent into madness, but no one is putting up a fight." It's this, just like I said, relentless, like, tolling of the bell, and everyone who hears it is like compelled to answer like the summons. It's sort of it's hypnotic, a yes master kind of moment. It's so good. Definitely a 5 from me on that one. Okay, turn the page. What do we got next? All right, The Nurse. So with this was on the album Get Behind Me, Satan, which had a lot of great songs. This was not one of them. I always skipped this song. I never got very far into it. I think today might actually be the first time I've ever listened to it all the way through. It's not a good song to hear, but if you're dissecting the album, it might be good to listen to. There might be more going on. I am not a musician. I'm just a regular old guy who has heard a lot of music in his time. I know what I like. I know what I don't like. Now, my opinion doesn't always jibe with the zeitgeist. Some scholar, some musical, was ingenue. I don't know. Somebody smarter than me in music might listen to the song and go, "Oh, do you not see what they're doing here? This is incredible. They're doing this and they're doing that." Sorry, I just don't. I don't know what's going on. I don't listen to music for that. I listen to music because it's good, and this is not good. It feels like an experiment, and it takes way too long to get to the good stuff, and then the good stuff does not last for very long. So that one got a 1. I'm sorry, that's I don't think is a good song. All right, what's next? Oh, You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl. This is another classic White Stripes song. I think this has the hallmark of kind of a fun little throwaway song that they're like, let's throw it on the album. Sure, why not? We'll just throw it on there. It'll be cute. It'll be fun. This, I believe, was on De Still, their second album. Great album. And this song turned out to be like one of the best ones on there. And I don't think they meant for it to be. I think this has turned out to be better than they intended. And I gave it a 4. All right. I think that's all 10. Yeah, that's all 10. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, at least I didn't go in the water. That's something. Although I probably would have had an easier time if I had. Let's get up on the ledge and get down. Nope. Okay, we're going all the way down now. This will be a fun problem to solve. Okay, while this is sorting itself out, and now we're already sorted. Okay. Let's do my bottom, my 5 down. My 5 down. Oh, flip. This was tricky. This was really hard, for a couple reasons, and we'll start at the bottom. The Nurse, that was a no-brainer. That one went on the list immediately. The Nurse, is just not a good song, my opinion. I'm Slowly Turning Into You, another one I didn't like. Those are the only two that I actively don't like. Like, please don't play that song. Then I added I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself, because the other songs on this list are just better. So it, by default, and that I will say the same thing about the other two on this list. They're only on here by default because the other 5 are just better. And then I added Apple Blossom, which is a pleasant song. It sounds like the kind of song that would open a movie, but you wouldn't remember it. It wouldn't be like revisited throughout the movie. It's not the theme. It's just sort of setting the tone, and then we can all move on and forget about it. And then this is where I really struggled. It was it was a tough one between Jolene and Astro, but since I went back and Astro, I think it's a better song. It's, performed better. I'm not stuck wishing I could go back and listen to Dolly Parton sing it. So Astro, it bumped out Jolene. So Astro made the five up list, which I think a lot of people would say, wait, I don't even know that song. That's like, how is that better than Jolene? Well, I think in this context, it just is. So Astro is on the list. Hotel Yorba is on the list because it's just so fun. It's so special. Fell in Love with a Girl, absolutely amazing. You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl, absolutely amazing. And their greatest song ever, Seven Nation Army. It's incredible. So those are my five up and my five down. And now I'm going to try to guess what SilverBlood's five up, five down. We'll start with what I think are SilverBlood's five down. I have to say The Nurse. I have to believe that my youngest child's opinion is similar enough to my own that we hated the same song, and that was a hole in one. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you could all be here to witness this big win of mine. So The Nurse, I'm going to say also I'm Slowly Turning Into You. I would imagine she would feel the same as I did about that. And then I just don't know what to do with myself. Just, it's slow. She doesn't mind slow songs, I don't think, but this one just seems a little too whiny for her. And then I'm going to say that she did not like Astro because I'm pretty sure I made her listen to that a bunch of times when she was very little, and she probably has grown to hate it. And it's, I don't know, maybe it's just like backwards nostalgia. I don't know, is that a thing? It's the same reason I grew up to hate country music, because my dad forced me to listen to it all the time. In fact, everyone in my hometown forced me to listen to it all the time, and they would just say things like, well, you just got to give it a chance. Well, I gave it plenty of chances, and it was still awful. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe she just had it crammed down her throat, and she doesn't like it. And then the other one, I'm going to say Hotel Yorba. I think maybe that one was just a little too carefree and a little too silly, and she's 14, and she's not at all carefree. She's in middle school. She's full of care. Everything is awful. And I just don't think that song really struck a chord with her quite yet. Maybe one day. Oh, look at that. That was a slam dunk. Nice work. Okay, so that puts in her five up. She gets Seven Nation Army, Apple Blossom, which also is kind of upbeat and kicky. I don't know why she'd like that over Hotel Yorba. She's weird. So Seven Nation Army, Apple Blossom, You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl, Fell in Love with a Girl, and I think she liked Jolene. I don't think she's heard Dolly Parton sing it enough, so she doesn't have that same. Also, she is a bit of a musician, and so I'm sure she appreciates what Jack White is doing on the guitar. All right, let's get out the lists. Let's see how I did. And while I'm unfolding this with my right hand, I'm going to take a shot with my left hand, and it's going to bounce back. Is that in? Oh, my word, that was beautiful. What an amazing shot. Let's see if I can replicate it. I'm still fighting with this list. What in the world? Oh, that was so close. Ha, I got it. Okay, with a flourish even. Let's finish this hole off. And bleep. Okay, how are we doing? Here we go, the ups. Seven Nation Army, nailed it. Fell in Love with a Girl, nailed it. You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl, nailed it. Apple Blossom, nailed it. And Astro. Whoops. Astro. That's fine. Okay, I'm happy with that. Which means The Nurse, I'm Slowly Turning Into You, I just don't know what to do with myself. Hotel Yorba and Jolene were on her down. That was really close. I was only one off. That was really good. I'm really proud of myself. I'm a good dad. Good job, me. Thanks, me. You may notice that I do congratulate myself an awful lot. It's mostly because no one else will, and I really just need the encouragement. And also, what's wrong with a little self-love? Am I right? Hey, you did something good. You should congratulate yourself. You have no idea how hard it is for me to admit that I've done something well. Do you realize when I was writing my last book how many times I thought, this is dumb, nobody's going to like it? And I had to remind myself, you're not writing it for them, you're writing it for you. This is for you. And you know what? I liked it, and I still like it. And guess what? Other people liked it too. So I'm very pleased. Mostly because I had made up my mind about that book before I published it even. I decided I like it. Whatever else happens, I like it. And that's hard for me to do, I usually have to turn to other people and say, "Did I do a good?" And they'll say, "You did a good, but you did it loud, so maybe next time." So, I think that it's very important to know yourself, and learn to have an opinion that you respect, and not worry so much about other people. Now that's so hard to do. It really is, because then you end up just like I said, I was convinced that so many people were staring at me, were watching me, and then how did that ball bounce, by the way? I'm just curious. It didn't hit anything. It was just rolling flat. I was so convinced that everyone was looking at me that I couldn't do the things that I really wanted to do. And then when I finally decided that it was not worth it to be so like bottled up and so like blinded and choked by the smoke that other people were blowing my direction, when in fact nobody was blowing any smoke in my direction. It was all make believe. And that's when I kind of relaxed and I let go, and I just started to like, hey, I'm going to listen to something I like. And that was, it's a small thing, but it really made a difference, just to say, I'm going to not worry about it anymore. And 20 odd years later, I'm still struggling with it, to say, hey, I like what I did. I put all this time and all this effort into this thing, and I don't care what other people have to say about it. I like it. Now, I love hearing what other people say. I'm just biding time, by the way, trying to get a hole in one. I've heard a lot of people say some really terrific things. In fact, one of our friends from church just read my first novel, which I, published almost 7 years ago, and she was very complimentary. She was like silly about it, and it made me so happy. Hey, there's my hole in one. I can stop talking about myself. But if you want to read my books, The Blood Pines, I wrote that one 7 years ago. That's available on Amazon, and Secretly Kings is also available on Amazon. My name is Matt Beers. Look it up. They're very good. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Also, I believe Smashwords, they have some big event coming up beginning of March, and you can get both of those ebooks for free if you check out Smashwords, and you'll be able to download those. I believe download them for free for like 3 days. There's like a 3-day window. So anyway, check those out. The Blood Pines and Secretly Kings by Matt Beers. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I got it right with the white stripes, let me know. If I didn't, let me know. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.